Welcome to Gist Dish TV, where the gist never sleeps and conversations come with layers. Before we go any further, please remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and drop your thoughts in the comment section, because today's gist is not calm, not light, and definitely not something Nollywood has finished talking about. Now let us get into it. Just when people were beginning to feel that the Maurice Sam situation was slowly settling down, something happened that dragged everything back to the surface. This time, it was not a cryptic post, not a fan theory, and not a random blog update. It was Ruth Kadiri. And all she needed to say was, "This is too much." That single reaction was enough to reset the entire conversation. Immediately, timelines lit up again. Old arguments were reopened. New angles were introduced. People who had gone quiet suddenly had opinions again. And just like that, Nollywood's online space was back in full-blown debate mode. What made this moment so heavy was not just what Ruth Kadiri said, but who she is. Ruth is not known for jumping into every trending topic. She is not one of those actors who thrive on online drama or controversy. Over the years, she has built a reputation for being deliberate with her words and selective with her public reactions. So when someone like her reacts openly, people pay attention. Many fans felt that her reaction did not come from a place of excitement or clout chasing. Instead, it felt like exhaustion. The kind of exhaustion that comes from watching the same patterns repeat themselves over and over again in the industry, while everyone pretends nothing is wrong. By the time Ruth's reaction started circulating widely, the Maurice Sam situation had already gone through several phases. First, there was confusion. Then speculation. Then judgment. Then fatigue. People had argued, taken sides, unfollowed, defended, attacked, and moved on. Or at least, that was what it looked like on the surface. But Ruth's words made it clear that not everyone had moved on. For many viewers, her reaction felt like a reminder that unresolved issues do not disappear just because the internet gets tired. Sometimes, they sit quietly until someone voices what others are feeling but have chosen not to say. As expected, reactions were divided. One group of fans praised Ruth Kadiri heavily. They described her as brave and honest. To them, she was simply saying what needed to be said. They argued that when respected voices remain silent, unhealthy situations are allowed to continue unchecked. In their view, Ruth's reaction was not an attack, but a call for reflection. They also pointed out that Nollywood often struggles with accountability. Issues arise, names trend, emotions flare, and then everything is swept under the rug until the next controversy appears. According to this group, Ruth's reaction interrupted that cycle. It forced people to stop pretending that everything was fine. But not everyone saw it that way. Another group of viewers felt Ruth should have stayed out of it. They questioned why she chose to react publicly instead of addressing concerns privately if she truly felt something was wrong. To them, her reaction only added pressure to an already tense situation. They believe that public commentary from senior figures can sometimes worsen matters rather than resolve them. Some even accused her of indirectly influencing public opinion against Maurice Sam without giving him a chance to properly explain himself. They argued that when a respected figure reacts emotionally, it can tilt the narrative unfairly. And right there, the debate became even more complicated. Because this gist was no longer just about Maurice Sam. It became about influence, power, responsibility, and the fine line between speaking up and stirring things up. Maurice Sam, on his part, did not immediately respond to Ruth's reaction. That silence became another talking point entirely. For some fans, his quietness suggested that he was taking time to reflect. For others, it felt like avoidance. And as usual, silence did not bring calm. It created space for assumptions. People began asking questions again. Was Maurice choosing peace, or was he refusing to address valid concerns? Was he overwhelmed, or was he confident that the noise would eventually die down? No one had clear answers, but everyone had opinions. As the days passed, the conversation started expanding beyond the individuals involved. Fans began talking about Nollywood culture as a whole. They talked about how controversies are handled, About how senior actors are expected to lead by example. About how silence is often mistaken for wisdom, and how speaking up is sometimes mistaken for troublemaking. Some fans recalled past incidents where issues were ignored until they escalated beyond control. Others mentioned cases where people spoke up and were later accused of destroying unity within the industry. These comparisons made Ruth's reaction even more controversial. Was she protecting the integrity of the industry, or was she exposing its cracks? Another angle that gained attention was the emotional weight of constant public scrutiny. Many viewers began to ask whether actors are allowed to make mistakes and grow without being permanently defined by controversy. They wondered if the audience sometimes demands too much access and explanation, forgetting that these are human beings with private struggles. At the same time, others argued that visibility comes with responsibility. When your actions affect public perception and influence others, silence can feel like neglect. To them, accountability is not optional. And that is where this gist really sits. Right in the middle of opposing truths. Ruth Kadiri's reaction did not provide answers. It raised questions. It forced people to look at the situation again from a wider lens. It challenged the idea that moving on without resolution is the same as healing. As the debate continued, some fans began to worry about the long-term effects of these constant public clashes. They wondered how younger actors watching from the sidelines might interpret everything. Would they learn that silence is safer than honesty? Or would they learn that speaking up comes with consequences? Others felt that moments like this are necessary for growth. That uncomfortable conversations are part of evolving as an industry. That pretending everything is fine does more harm than good in the long run. Through all of this, Ruth Kadiri did not add more comments. She did not explain herself further. And that decision itself became another layer of interpretation. Some saw it as maturity. Others saw it as leaving the fire half-lit. Maurice Sam also remained largely quiet, and with every passing day, the curiosity only grew. People kept refreshing pages, waiting for a response that might never come. And in that waiting, narratives continued to form on their own. At this point, it became clear that this gist was not going to end neatly. There was no single statement that could close it. No apology that would satisfy everyone. No explanation that would erase doubt completely. What remained was a divided audience, an industry under scrutiny, and a reminder of how powerful a few words can be when spoken by the right person at the right moment. So here we are. A situation that many thought was over has been reopened. A respected voice has spoken, even if briefly. Silence has followed. And the public is left to interpret, debate, and decide where they stand. Was Ruth Kadiri right to say, "This is too much"? Did her reaction help shine light on deeper issues, or did it complicate an already fragile situation? Should Maurice Sam respond, or is silence the wiser path in a climate like this? And more importantly, how should Nollywood handle moments like this moving forward? Drop your thoughts in the comments section. This is not a one-sided conversation, and your perspective matters. If you have watched this far, thank you for staying with Gist Dish TV. Do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and turn on your notification bell so you do not miss the next update. Because here on Gist Dish TV, we do not just pass the gist. We sit with it, question it, and leave you to share your thoughts. Until then, be good guys.